Homeschooled students score about 72 points higher than the national average on the Scholastic Aptitude Test, SAT. The average American College Test, ACT, score is 21. The average score for homeschoolers is 22.8 out of a possible 36 points. Homeschoolers are at the 77th percentile on the Iowa Test of Basic Skills. Advocates of homeschooling point to these standardized test results to show that not only does homeschooling work, it is also superior to public schooling. Critics disagree and say that demographic and other explanations may account for the higher homeschooling scores. Before going into the video, we highly recommend to check the first link in our description to watch a free video and discover powerful, effective, and simple method that will teach your child to read in 12 weeks. Now let's get into today's video topic. Critical arguments. Critics point out that these higher scores do not indicate that homeschooling is superior to other forms of schooling. Some arguments are: students who take these tests are self-selecting, so we don't know if homeschoolers overall are doing better than other students. But all SAT and ACT takers are self-selecting regardless of how they were schooled. However, there is no way to know if homeschoolers are taking these tests at a lower or higher rate than public or private school students. If broken down by demographics, homeschoolers may not fare so well. Homeschoolers tend to come from higher earning and better educated families, which may account for the higher scores. Sampling is sometimes done to compare homeschoolers to public school students. Critics point out that successful homeschooling parents may be more likely to allow their children to be tested than less successful homeschoolers. The demographic argument. Jonna Burns of Northeastern State University made the demographic case in a 1999 study called the Correlational Relationship Between Homeschooling Demographics and High Test Scores. According to Burns, homeschoolers are more likely to come from homes with educated parents and higher incomes. Homeschooling parents are less likely to divorce, which is true of higher income couples in general. Homeschooled kids watch less television. All of this results in higher academic achievement. As a result, Burns says that there is inconclusive evidence of the actual quality of homeschool instruction. A U.S. Department of Education study found that homeschooling parents are about twice as likely to have advanced degrees. But the percentages with bachelor's degrees or some college is similar to the population overall. Blacks and Hispanics are underrepresented among homeschoolers. SLDA study. The Homeschool Legal Defense Association (SLDA) commissioned a study called the Homeschool Progress Report 2009. This report did look at demographics. This study found that homeschoolers are still achieving well beyond their public school counterparts, no matter what their family background, socioeconomic level, or style of homeschooling. Homeschoolers in this study were actually not better off or better educated, when compared to other households headed by two parents. Homeschoolers' median family income, $75,000 to $79,999, closely span the nationwide median, about $79,000, for families headed by a married couple and with one or more related children under 18. Homeschool households where neither parent had a college degree did less well than households with one or more college graduate parents. But the differences in academic performance were not significant. Students whose parents both had a college degree performed better than those who had no parent with a college degree. However, this correlation is generally weaker for homeschool students than for public school students. The homeschooled students whose parents did not have college degrees still performed at the 83rd percentile. According to this study, homeschoolers have significantly higher test scores than the national average. Homeschooled boys, 87th percentile, and girls, 88th percentile, scored equally well. The income level of parents did not appreciably affect the results. Household income under $35,000, 85th percentile, household income over $70,000, 89th percentile. And while parent education level did have some impact, even children whose parents did not have college degrees scored in the 83rd percentile, which is well above the national average for public school students. Homeschooled children whose parents both had college degrees scored in the 90th percentile. Since this SLDA is a homeschooling advocacy group, it's very possible there is bias in the study, which consisted of 11,739 participants. Critics can easily make the self-selecting claim that only parents who knew their children would do well would participate. It is highly unlikely that the SLDA study will end this debate. Problems with critics' arguments. The only way to know if homeschoolers outperform public school students is to look at similar sample populations. Critics won't accept these kinds of studies due to the concern that only students who know they will do well on the test take them. This assumes that homeschooling parents somehow know in advance how well their children would actually perform. Many homeschooling parents wouldn't know in advance how well their children will perform on any particular test. Homeschoolers typically take tests like the Iowa Test of Basic Skills to gauge how well they're doing. However, it doesn't make sense to compare homeschoolers to the national average because the demographics of both groups are very different. The argument that homeschoolers may be taking the SATs and act at lower rates is problematic too. Considering that homeschoolers are more likely to come from homes with college graduate parents, they are most likely taking college entrance exams at a similar or higher rate compared to other students. And don't forget to check out the first link in our description to watch a free video and discover powerful, effective, and simple method that will teach your child to read in 12 weeks. If you like the video, then make sure to hit that like button. Also, if you want more parenting guides, then make sure to subscribe our channel. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments, and thank you for watching.